Located on the southeastern side of Kiteezi landfill is the Leachate treatment plant. Leachate is the liquid that drains from a landfill and varies widely in composition regarding the age of the landfill and the type of waste that is dumped there. The leachate from the landfill is supposed to be collected in lagoons and then transferred to the leachate collection tank under gravitation force. This is the leachate treatment plant here at Kiteezi landfill. For some time now, it's not been operational due to some technical challenges. We engaged the KCCA Director for Public Health and Environment, Dr. Dan Okello, over the state of this plant.
The functionality of the plant was related to one incident that occurred some time back, what you may actually say, because of the landfill, how it is now, it's actually full. So we had what was a landfill, then later on, you can say landslide at the landfill. So that damaged the leachate treatment plant, and from then on the functionality was compromised.
The situation has been worsened by the recent heavy rains that left the facility flooded. While KCCA, as part of its quality control measures, is meant to ensure that the wastewater released into the environment is periodically checked for toxic elements, the laboratory on site is down, with reports of some of its components stolen.
Definitely looking at Kiteezi how it is, we are working beyond capacity. And as KCCA, we're working to be able to have an alternative site. And I know this has been discussed before by the ED, whereby we have engaged partners. And from the partners we have engaged, we know that from the alternative site and technologies we are going to use are going to be much better than what we have in Kiteezi.
Interestingly, the National Environment Management Authority admits that it is aware of the state of Kiteezi.
If it was a building, I would consider it a condemned building. So we already condemned Kiteezi as not fit to take more waste. But because we do not have an immediate alternative, it is a better evil than having waste on the street, or having waste in the wetlands, or having waste sent in water.
The authority's Executive Director, Dr. Kankwasa Berega, shares the same fears with some stakeholders over the possible leakage of toxic liquids into the environment.
It was engineered, but because it is old, there is a possibility that there can be leakage to the environment.
Dr. Kalist Tindimugaya, the Commissioner for Water Resources Planning and Regulation, says while Kiteezi landfill has served its purpose and should have been decommissioned long ago, continued depositing of waste puts the regulator in a tricky situation.
That's why sometimes the NEMA finds itself in a tricky situation. Do you close? Now if you close, what happens? Do you penalize KCCA? What happens? And all that becomes the dilemma.
He adds that the non-functional state of the treatment plant poses a threat to the water resources in the neighborhood, with a high likelihood of pollution.
Once leachate is not treated, it will continuously seep down. And in Kampala, generally, our waters in some areas are shallow, about 15 meters. Certainly, downstream, I think people need to be warned, first of all, not take the water.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director of the Climate Change Action East Africa and former Executive Director at the Environment Watchdog, Dr. Tomo Kurut, explains the importance of the plant.
It's supposed to treat the leakage coming from decomposition of the water, decomposition from the solid waste. The liquid now comes out, supposed to go to the leachate plant, and the leachate plant is supposed to be a place for stabilizing the whatever comes out, and eventually it goes out.
However, KCCA has allayed fears of the public regarding pollution of the water sources.
If you've gone to Kiteezi, you'll actually see that it's surrounded by a kind of like a buffer that is a form of wetlands. So one of the ways you can also be able to use can be the natural filtration that can be able to work for the moment. Of course, the best option would be the treatment plant that can be able to be brought functionality. But now what we are using the natural filtration for it to be able to be put in use. And we believe if there was something adverse that would have happened, we would have actually known about it.
The experts share views on how best this challenge should be resolved.
It's a problem, and I think we need to face it, support KCCA to address it, and I think we can't leave it KCCA alone.
The engineers and who are the site should be able to think through that kind of thing, that the leachate plant can be repaired, or downstream they can acquire small land first to do the treatment of the leachate. But if I were them, the engineers would just get a pump back the leachate to to the solid dump there. Yeah. That's how it is, so that you just recycle it within there.
Containing leakage of leachate is possible, and KCCA is addressing that. That is very possible, and as NEMA, the regulator, we've put it on record in writing to KCCA, and we've had engagements, and they have assured us that they are doing all it takes to address the problem.
Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.